Welcome back to another episode of Tap Tap Industries, John Fixes Old Junky Bikes, where we ask today, will this old thing actually fire up after it gets a complete engine rebuild? Let's find out. Stay tuned. Alright guys, here we are back in action. I'm just scraping the gasket off the base of the jug or cylinder and mucking around with the piston, getting the retaining clips for the gudgeon pin out, little screwdriver and pair of pliers, and I can knock the gudgeon pin through, pull the piston off as you can see. I've got the new piston there, cheap off eBay, link in the description for that. Really good little kit, real bargain price. Anyway, it matches up perfectly. Looks like it's a slightly higher performance piston, but it seems to fit absolutely perfectly. Can't remember what I'm doing in there, but obviously junking around with something. There's a gasket set, also from eBay. I'll leave it in the description. And yeah, I don't know where I've gone to do something. Yep, doing things, checking things, putting the new retaining clip in the new piston. That piston kit came with new gudgeon pin, new clips, and new rings. Couldn't believe how cheap it was, so check that out. And I'm just taking the rest of the old gasket off the cylinder this time and getting the piston rings, checking them, gapping them. They were all just within spec. They were on the sort of more open side of things, so the cylinder is definitely slightly worn, but it was still within specs, so we went ahead and did that. It's just flicking through the phone trying to find all the specs and double check everything. There's a good resource, AG200, Agman. It's a website, it's got a lot of information, very helpful. And I'm just using a bit of old oil to lubricate the bore, putting the rings on, checking that they're facing the right side up. From memory I did the top ring first, or maybe I did the oil rings, I don't really remember. Anyway, they got on there. There's a way to do it, you'll be able to read it in the manual. Yeah, I think I would have done the oil rings first, but I just can't remember. Checking stuff, getting out some O-rings and seals. There's a little O-ring you've got to be aware of. Well, there's a couple. Again, go to the manual if you're doing this yourself. I was pretty impressed with the price on things from eBay. Surprisingly cheap. So there goes the jug on, cam chain through. Making sure the cam chain's seated on the bottom sprocket correctly. And now I've taken the rockers out. Didn't take the cam out, I could just take the rockers out. And then I was able to get in there and pull the old valve seals off, put the new valve seals in. And that's about all the footage we have of building the motor. So we'll jump to draining the oil because I've got the whole motor back in the bike temporarily and just needs oil change. Alright guys, we're back in business. We're changing the oil out. You can see it dripping out. That's something to do with the oil filter. Don't actually know if it's where you're meant to change it from, but that's the nut that you take off, and then inside that there's an O-ring on that nut. And then this is there, which is some kind of oil strainer, which I think is as sophisticated as the oil filtration system gets on this thing. Anyway, the lack of ignition has now been sorted. That one's been cut off. This one has been sourced off eBay for a handful of dollars. Cheap. Plugged straight in and it already works. I've turned it on and kicked it with my finger in the spark plug cap, and I got a very rude shock. So we have ignition we have spark. And we're going to change the oil. And then all we need is a little bit of fuel and a kick, and it might actually run. Fingers crossed. See when it's ready. This is a leaky fuel tank. Okay, we got fuel because I just want to load my hands. Moment of truth. On. Maybe put the lid on the fuel tank. Chance it'll just fall off. And give it a go. Already push the choke on, I think. First kick.
Fucking loud.
First kick, yeah, it's got no exhaust on it. First kick.
Wow.
Woo! It's not even smoky. Fuck yeah. Now we should put the whole thing back together, take it for a quick spin down the road. Oh well, that's tomorrow's job. See you in the next episode!
You.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and check out the links in the description for all your eBay needy weedies.